All right, what's up, everybody, on that beautiful day here in Deerfield? And today I'm gonna introduce you to the Kill Cliff FC Gym, that humongous, beautiful, awesome MMA gym where all those superstars from UFC, PFL, Bellator, and name it are training over here. And see, the vibe is awesome. So come with me, you can see what's up inside, and there we have a good training together. All right, let's go with the flow. So today I'm with Jason Strout, the Kill Cliff striking coach, who's gonna give me a striking lesson in a sparring round. So
3 minutes. Four. Cinq minutes. That was fun.
So, what's up, Jason?
What's up, man?
So, how are you doing, first of all?
I'm doing good today.
You doing good?
Yeah, I woke up. It's a beautiful day here in Florida. There's no snow on the ground, so things are good, you know?
Yeah, because you come from somewhere where we have some snow, right?
Yeah. I've lived in, I'm born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so there's tons of snow. It's pretty close to Canada. There's snow all the time. I feel like we get like 1 month of nice weather, and then I moved to New York, which was a little bit better, but it's still pretty cold. So yeah,
exactly.
I don't miss winters. Let me tell you, Florida's nice. Florida's perfect. I'll even take the heat of the summer over all that cold weather.
Yeah, I hear you, man. But so, how all that journey of striking and martial arts started for you?
How did it all start? I mean, I guess just like anybody who's into striking or martial arts or fighting, you grow up watching it in movies, right? You see a movie and it kind of appeals to you and you like it. I could think of like Bloodsport, Kickboxer, things like that, like 80s, 90s movies where it was like all about the action, all about fights. And it's funny because nowadays I can't watch that stuff. Like after doing it for so long, like knowing what works and what doesn't, it's like hard to watch a fight movie. You're like, oh man, he got hit twice and he wasn't really like when I was younger, you'd watch it, like watch a Rocky movie and you're like, man, and for me, for some reason, I was like, I want to be that guy who just takes the punishment and then comes back. So like when I first started fighting and training, that's how I wanted to be. I'd take shots. I thought I was tough. I'd eat a couple and then I'd come back. And then after a while, maybe I got to try a new strategy. Maybe I shouldn't be taking all these shots and try to get a little more slick. But yeah, that ruined it for me. It ruined all those
for
action.
sure.
But that's where it started. That's, I wanted to be that guy, the hero, the comeback, the toughest dude, the baddest dude around. Like that's what I wanted to be. And that's what got me into this. Like I used to box in this apartment complex. Like we'd all kind of hang out and somebody had boxing gloves.
That's where it all started.
Yeah, and I guess that's where it started. I'd just box anybody. People would show up. I'd fight this person. They would show up. I'd fight that person. I could take a punch. I could give a punch. And I kind of like learned, I guess, strategy from that. Like, everybody's just throwing a big right hand. If I move and just stick my left hand, like I can catch him every time. So, and then I had a friend who went to a Muay Thai kickboxing gym, and I kind of learned a little bit about that. I was in the hardcore scene, and for some reason, kickboxing was popular in the 90s there, for that time period. So I was just kind of exposed to it through that. And then they also had fights in Milwaukee. Duke Rufus put on fights, Muay Thai fights at an arena, like a local venue where we used to go watch shows. And my band actually played there at one point. And so I got tickets for a fight and went and saw it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. And went to the gym. Like, I think the fight was Saturday. I went to the gym Monday. I said, all right, here we go. And that's where the journey began.
Okay, and how old were you at that time?
I started late. I think I was like 22 when I started. So like I started later. I just wasted a lot of time doing other things. And
you said your band, so you were a musician before?
I just kind of sang in a hardcore band. It wasn't like, I don't think I had any kind of musical talent, but it was fun. I liked the travel. I guess that's what I still like today was the traveling. We'd get in a van and just someone would book this tour and we'd just kind of just stay at random places and play these shows with other random bands, and you'd meet people that were into the same things you were into. And it kind of feels that way now with traveling for fights. Like I go to these different hotels, and like it's like another family. I get to see all these people that I see. I mean, now it's monthly and sometimes weekly, and it's just it feels pretty similar. And I like that adventure of just going out, finding a new neighborhood, and exploring, and then getting fighters ready for their fight. It's just kind of cool. It's like a nomad lifestyle. It's fun, you know.
All right, so you're jumping from one subject to another. So I like that one. So you've been traveling a lot because of fighting.
Yeah, especially since before that, I lived in New York. I had a gym, and I'd do some traveling for fights. Guys would fight locally. They'd fight throughout the the country or outside of the country, which was great. And that was actually that's how I first started traveling. Like I never had a passport. I never thought I'd get on a plane. I was like, no, I'm just gonna do this and live locally, work construction, whatever. And then I started fighting, and then I went to Vegas to go watch a K1 fight because one of the guys from the gym was fighting. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm gonna get on a plane and go to Vegas. And then it was like, all right, they fought twice a year, so I was going to Vegas twice a year. And then when I eventually moved to New York,
so you start traveling because of fighting?
Because of fight, yeah.
Okay.
And then when I started training guys, I started traveling even more. So like the first time I left the country was to go to Barcelona for a kickboxing fight. Duke trained these two gentlemen, but he couldn't go. So he's like, hey, you want to go to, I was like, yeah, why not? So I got a passport right away, got on the plane, flew to Barcelona, and didn't speak Spanish. Some guy picked me up, took me to a hostel, and I was like, all right, we'll just see where this goes. And I was like, all right, here the adventure begins. And that kind of kicked everything off. And then I started traveling more for fights. And now since I moved to Florida here 3 years ago, yeah, we have such a big team, man. I'm going all the time. So I used to be on the road for like 3-4 weeks at a time. Like during COVID, we'd stay at the Residence Inn in Vegas for the fights, and we'd have guys fight week after week. So I just stay there. I wouldn't fly all the way back to Florida. I just like, all right, I'll see you guys out there, and they just keep sending dudes, and I just stay out in Vegas. And it's awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
So many stuff to talk about. So yeah, talking about that team. So you're here at Kill Cliff. How that opportunity of 3 years ago coming to Kill Cliff appeared to you?
So I had a gym in New York. I sold it. I was still working there training fighters. And the guy that used to own the gym with me, originally the original owner of Church Street Boxing Gym, was now doing this thing in Asia, in Bangkok. He was buying content and selling it. And he had this deal with Fight Pass where he was showing Muay Thai fights on like Tuesday or Wednesday morning here in North America and stateside. And he needed a commentator. And I've done a couple I did it a couple times for his Friday Night Fight series in New York. I never knew what I was doing, but I was like, yeah, I'll go to Bangkok and give it a try. Why not? Like there was a point in New York where everything kind of slowed down. Like I had a couple fighters, and like a couple went different ways, a couple weren't fighting anymore. So I had this break. It was like a perfect opportunity. And I thought about it. I was like, went out there for a couple weeks and tried it. And I ended up liking it. I was like, all right, this is great. And ended up going back. I came back to the States, got all my stuff in order, and then I went back out there and lived out there for about a year until like COVID hit and the world kind of decided to go different directions. So the fight shut down. There was no work. Came back stateside. I actually went back to Wisconsin and staying with my mom, which is great. Got to see family, hanging out with that family.
Yeah, for sure.
I have this van, like a 16-passenger van that I took all the seats out of, and I used to use it to transport dirt bikes when I go race dirt bikes in New Jersey. So I had this van, and I built a little bed in it. It was perfect. I had my dirt bike, had a bed. I would drive from Wisconsin to New York. I'd stay at my friend's house in New York, like out further in New Jersey. And then sometimes I'd just sleep in my van in the city or just sleep in my van wherever. So I was going back and forth. And then eventually I ended up going back for the holidays to the Midwest. And then Jared Gordon, who I used to train in New York, was down here in Florida now training with the team. And he's like, hey, man, I got a fight coming up. I kind of want you to come, be in my corner. I was like, all right. And then Henry called me up. He's like, hey, I got this great thing going on down here in Florida, which, I've heard a lot of good things. We knew each other throughout the years. He's like, hey, I want you to come check it out. I was like, all right, you know what? I'll give it a try. So it was right after New Year's, I packed up my van. I put my bicycle in the back, my dirt bike, and then I drove down here. I was like, I'll give it a try, see what it's like. And, it took like 3 days to get down here. I was hitting up all the cities on the way here. And
Yeah, for sure.
And I got here and I haven't left. So things are working great. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have so many fighters over here that fight in all those different leagues. So that's why you're traveling everywhere. They have PFL, Bellator, UFC, and then probably forgetting all those little big show. And
it's an it's like, I always wanted to just work with top level athletes. I don't saying that I don't mind working with everybody else, but like if you're going to do something, you want to be the best at it, and you want to work with the best. And this is a great opportunity to do it. Like I get to come into this. I remember the first day walking in this place, and they're showing me around, and I was like, wow. It's like usually I'm at gyms, and I've seen some nice gyms, but this is like by far the best gym I've ever been in. And the energy in here is great, man. Like everybody wants to learn. Everybody's very positive, and it's just a fun place to be. And there's so many top guys, and they're all willing to learn and build off each other, and they're just sponges for building their careers, and they want to all get better. So it's awesome.
Oh yeah, it is awesome. The first day I came in, all you guys were in the meeting, and me, I'm in the MMA scene for all my life. I've been training with all those high caliber guys and well known. And then when that door opened, when all those fighters come out, I'm really impressed.
It's awesome. It's amazing.
So, not telling name, but what was your best experience of cornering a guy and where it was? Without, well, you can say the name if you want, but what was your best experience?
I mean, I don't know if there's
any best one.
I mean, there's always I don't know if there's any like best or anything that really stick out because they're all different. And I mean, the best part is just when they win, when you see that smile on their face. Because sometimes you're like, man, why am I doing this? Why am I putting all this work? And then sometimes they go through a rough patch, you're going through a rough patch, and you feel like if they didn't win, like you maybe let them down, or you didn't do what you were supposed to help them. Like you didn't devise the right game plan, and you kind of feel like, oh man, I let everybody down. So when you see these people win and succeed, and then like keep winning or whatever, make a title or just get that win. Like that's what it's all about, right? That's what keeps you going. It's almost like you just keep chasing that, right? Like, cause there's the ups, there's the downs, but when you see that, you get that little taste. You're like, oh, I want more of that. And you're like, and you got to be a part of that somehow. Like you can't take all the credit because it's never just you. But I feel like us as trainers, we do give some sort of like input, or they're we sometimes, I guess, we do make a difference in people's lives, and it's hard to think that we do, but I don't know, we do. And it's like, I guess it's important for us to be here for them, and they're here for us, like without them, there wouldn't be us, and vice versa. But yeah, it's an interesting world, man. It really is, because you can really get caught up and really fool yourself. And I've seen some guys do it. They think it's, oh, I've done this and I've done that, and I've made them this and I made them that. But it's a two-way street, and that's what I love about this place. I feel like there's a lot of that where it's back and forth, and there's nobody that's the one person, and nobody's like, we're not too big for each other. We're not, like everybody's on the same page. And I think that's what makes this place special, and what makes everybody better here,
Yeah. I've been in all those different gyms, and some are really, really good as well. But then here, what I notice is that structure. Every coach are there, every training. In the pro training in the morning, in the amateur / pro at the night, and then you have those meeting. Everybody's on time. Everybody's all around, and that's awesome. And then, like you're saying, all those fighter at the same level at the coach. The respect is awesome.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. Like there's other gyms that have been, I've been to other gyms that are like big gyms, but it's like there's nothing like this place. There's nothing like, everybody it just I don't know. It's special. It's a special place,
Yeah, exactly. So that's the fighter chapter. But about you, what's a week for you? Giving class and how you take care of the fighter.
So I'm here, like 6 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or twice a week. Wednesdays I'm here in the morning. Fridays here in the morning. Saturdays I'm here in the morning. And it's like some days we'll do pads. Some days, like 3 days a week, we'll show up and we'll do pads with the fighters that have fights coming up, guys that need work. And then we come back in the evening and maybe work a little bit more specialty with certain people if they need it. I'm always here just kind of like watching, looking, and helping people if they need it. Like a sparring class, we'll have numerous coaches on the floor, and we'll all give input. And we're all giving pretty much the same input. It's not like we're all like giving our own idea of how things should work, and the guy's confused. Like everybody's on the same page, which is nice. And it's it's rare to see that. It's rare to see a bunch of coaches who can all work together and all be on the same page, And everybody's just giving their input. So it's just constantly, you got eyes on you. Everybody's getting watched. Everybody's getting little feedback, and it's awesome.
So when you're here, you work as a team, but outside of the gym, are you guys hanging out, or are you having your own separate?
Oh no, we got our own. Yeah, when I'm done, I'm done.
You're done.
Here I go to the coffee shop. I chill for like a half hour and kind of like decompress. Then maybe I go home and I might watch videos here and there of maybe guys' opponents coming up, or just fights in the past, and just keep myself learning so that I can bring whatever I'm seeing to the people here and help everybody grow. Right? You got to stay current.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's always So I guess I'm kind of always on the job, and I do take breaks and do other things. But yeah, it's always in the back of your head. You're always thinking about this and the next guy fighting, and there's always something coming up. Especially here, all these guys, there's always something coming up. So there's always something to think about.
Yeah, yeah. It goes all around, all
But yeah,
year
we don't
long.
really hang out. No, no, no. Sometimes maybe. But when I
For a
leave, I
special
let
event. Yeah, yeah.
forget it. They're all on their own.
So you're here day and night, morning and night all the time.
Yeah, morning. Yeah, a couple days a week. Wednesday and Friday, Saturday we get off the evenings, and then Sunday we're off and do whatever we want to do as long as we show back up on Monday.
Since the first time I did a class here, I saw you on the mat, and then you start going with everybody and laughing and having fun. So it's really a passion for you.
Yeah, man. This is probably the only thing I've stayed focused on for this long in my life. And I think the only way you can do that is if you do really care about it. And it's always evolving. It's always changing. There's always something new. There's you can always improve. Like I remember watching like fights years ago, and I'll watch something and I'll see something, then I'll rewatch that fight and be like, wow, now I see it from a different viewpoint, and I can understand why they're doing this or certain things they're doing. You can always you're always learning, you're always picking things up, and then I'll watch it, do something, or I'll try to like learn something from it, and I'll bring it in here and try to use it, see if it works. Like I'm not gonna show somebody something if I don't believe in it, so I gotta like make sure that stuff works. That's why I'm always in there trying to like, I don't spar hard anymore, or I try not to spar hard anymore, but I'll still move with guys and stuff. And sometimes I get a little carried away because once it's in you, it's in you, But I'm always trying to stay current and stay relevant, and I want to show people that I can do it too. Like if I go running with the guys, and it's like I don't want to tell somebody to go run if I can't do it, or tell a guy to throw a combination if I can't do it, or if it doesn't really work. So yeah, I like to just be in here. I like to be in it, man. It's just like
Yeah, yeah. So you don't want to be that character of being just a boss. You want to be a leader.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
I want to be part of it. Like I want to be in the trenches. Like I do miss that. I miss that. Like get in there and get it done and work hard and feel horrible and like just so I can relate to someone, because I don't want to tell somebody something if I can't relate to them, and how are they supposed to believe in me if I like telling them something I wouldn't do, Whatever. It's like, so it was nice to do something so you still feel that like nervous energy so that you can relate to these guys when they're getting in there, so you can it sounds real and it's honest, and you're like, hey man, I know what you're going through, and knowing how to like deal and cope with that.
So when you were young, because you became a fighter,
Yeah.
that was probably a one day that was your dream, I guess.
I don't know if I ever dreamed to be I just wanted to be the baddest dude, like
Okay.
in the neighborhood, and then I wanted to be the baddest. Like I just always wanted to be. I guess that. Like I don't know why that intrigued me, or I thought that was like the answer. But yeah, then I found the gym, and I was like, well, shit, now I'm going to be a champion. Like that's what you want. I mean, otherwise, why do it?
Yeah.
You don't want to be like I said, the best at it. Then all right, and then I fought and had a bunch of fights, and then took some time off, and then I started training guys, and then I kind of leaned more towards being a trainer and a coach. I'm like, well, shit, I want to go at this 100% and be the best at this, like put everything I did when I fought into this, like staying in shape so I can keep up with the fighters. I always thought was important. I didn't want to like, sometimes you see trainers and they gain a lot of weight and they fall apart. It's like, well, I wanted to be able to still keep up or be close to whatever the fighter's doing, just so I can give it my all to give them their best,
And also, if you keep yourself being healthy, you can do it longer.
Yeah.
That's-
I mean,
that's
things
another
fall
factor.
apart. Like
Yeah.
sitting here right now, my leg is numb. Like hips hurt, knees hurt. Like
Yeah,
wrist, like things hurt. But like
That's why we're moving.
things keep falling apart. Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to. If I stop, I feel like if I stop moving now, it's done. Right?
Oh, for sure.
Just uphill.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I've seen people my age, and it's like, man, they can't. They're done. Like they stopped. They stopped a while ago, and it'd be hard for them to catch up. So I just want to keep going as much as it sucks some days. Like
Yeah.
I'm on the scale constantly still. Like, all right, I can't get too heavy, and maybe I'll let a little more go. And like, all right, then when I hit that certain, I'm like, then I'm cutting weight like these guys. I'm running in sauna suits.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
cutting. I'm not eating. It's like I want to see if I can get down and down and down. And like, yeah, it's always this lifestyle. It's just becomes you.
If you go back, would you choose to do it again so you become the coach that you are today?
I mean, I don't know. What would I do different? I have no idea. I probably just do the same shit. Like
Yeah.
everything just kind of happened to fall into place, and like different things, the life and the different paths I've chose all led me to where I am now. So I don't know. I kind of like it.
So before I always ask a lot of questions at the end, like real fast, but I'm intrigued about how many country you went to.
Oh, whew. Been to a lot. Finally, just went to Africa, and that wasn't even because of a fight. I mean,
But which country in Africa?
I was in Egypt.
In Egypt.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Just got back from there a couple weeks ago. That was cool. But yeah, I don't know how many countries. I've been a lot. Yeah, a lot. And I never like as a little kid, I never think you. I didn't even know half these countries were. Like, I didn't pay attention in school. You know, like
It's crazy when you start traveling and looking,
just-
and
yeah,
you have
man.
so many little countries, so many
Everywhere.
and everywhere is different. All the culture,
Well,
it's amazing.
when I lived in Bangkok for like a year, and like I think one weekend we went to like Cambodia, Singapore, Myanmar. I think there was like four. I think another place I can't remember. So it was like 4 different countries in like 4 day span. It was just like bop, 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 bop. And they're all similar but different, so different. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, wow, this is awesome. It's amazing. Yeah, and you're just sitting there in the back of a cab and like talking to the guy, like, can you believe where we are right now? Like, on the whole other side of the world, like, and I wouldn't be here if I didn't go to that fight or that gym or I don't know. It's just like, yeah, I just opened myself up to a whole new world, you know, like that I never knew existed. And
Yeah.
yeah, shit's nuts, man.
So I have those 10 questions. So what is your favorite striking technique you like to do?
Oh, my favorite striking technique. I love the jab. That could be a technique. That's probably my favorite weapon. Did me very well as a
Because you can control the
fighter.
distance.
You can do everything with it. Offense,
Yeah, yeah.
defense. Like it's a good starter. It's right there. It's like your head's right there. Like I love low kicks, but it wouldn't be there if I didn't have a jab. So
Yeah.
that helps set up the next thing, right? So yeah, if I had to choose one thing, it's like it's got to be a jab.
It shows that you're
Yeah.
really a striking coach because all those really high level strikers.
But even if you want to get a takedown, like the jab helps set it up because if they don't worry about something, then they're not going to throw something back or they're not going to
Yeah.
react. So you can create the takedown. But I guess you could, if you had a good takedown, you could set up the jab with that too if they're worried about that. But I don't know. I think the jab is the basis of all things, you know. And obviously that's a good foundation, footwork, whatever. But the jab, yeah.
Yeah. And what would be your worst striking technique you don't like to get hit with?
I don't like to get hit with. Oh
Yeah.
man, I don't know. The kicks in the neck. Who likes to get kicked in the neck? You know, like,
Kick in the neck.
yeah, I guess that would probably be yeah. Kicks in the neck would suck.
That kind of bring me a memory of one of my.
I wish I could remember that my memory of that.
Yeah. Well, it bring me a memory of one of my boxing coach, really
Yeah.
good boxing coach.
Yeah.
He was telling me don't look and jab or hit him in the face. Hit his neck. Look at hit his neck.
Yeah.
His neck doesn't move.
Doesn't move. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
I
aim
didn't
for
thought
this.
about that.
Hey, you aim for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hit the neck probably sucks the most.
Yeah, that's a pretty good tips.
Yeah. Protect your neck.
So what would be even if you're a striking coach, I want to ask you the question. So what would be your favorite submission?
Oh, my favorite submission. I think it's the Darce, right? That's
Darce,
that's the only one I think I've ever pulled off ever. Just because, well, for me, I like it just because I feel like you can do it from like if they're on all fours or whatever, and I feel like I don't like pulling guard because I don't want to get stuck at the bottom because
Yeah.
I mean, look at me sitting here. It's hard for me to get up. Like for me to get up, I got to go on all fours to get, like, I can't push out and do what you're supposed to do. It just,
yeah.
so like even when I do jujitsu and I would never want to pull guard or be on my back. So I'd let them kind of position themselves and I'd kind of let them to get up in that position so I can get that off. Like that's the only thing I can do is sneak the arm through and kind of squeeze right there. I mean, there's a lot of great submissions, but I feel like that one's it's just the best for how my body works, or even for MMA, just because you're in a good top position. If they do squirm out of it, you're still on top, you know?
Good, great. And what would be the worst submission you don't like to get cut in?
Oh, I mean, does anybody like to get caught in any submissions? I mean,
No.
I mean, leave my legs alone. You touch my calves, I'll tap. So any kind of like ankle, heel,
Yeah.
you do any of that, I'm done.
So what would be your favorite exercise for keeping you in shape for martial arts?
Running,
Running.
just run.
Normal running
You
or
know,
a sprint? Or...
I don't know. You can sprint if you want, if your body can do it, but just go run, man. 3
Run.
miles, even 3 times a week. Like, because running sucks, right? Running's boring. So like you got to train your mind to keep going, and it's all on you. You can go slow, you can go fast. It's like you're teaching yourself to push yourself and make yourself uncomfortable. You put tons of clothes on to go for a run and it's miserable.
Yeah.
Or you can wear a shirt, nothing, and then run fast. Like, but it's all on you. Like you learn how to push through the boredom, learn how to push through the fatigue, and learn how to just push yourself, you know.
Oh,
And I feel like
hear
that's the
what
only way.
you're saying. So
that's
it's you have the physical aspect of it, but you're talking about the mental.
everything. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. Like running, like I it's the only thing I can get into shape doing. Like I'll do everything else. I'll move around with the guys. I'll hit the heavy bag, but for one, weight doesn't come off unless I run. And I feel like if I don't run for a while, like my body starts falling apart, you know. So yeah, running I think is the best.
And what would be your favorite meal?
Favorite meal?
Oh yeah,
Pizza. Let's just stick with pizza. Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Come from New York? No, you don't come from New York.
No, but I
you-
spent
you
enough
live-
time there.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody loves pizza.
Yeah, indeed. What would be your pre-workout meal?
I don't know if I've ever had a pre-workout meal.
There you go.
Espresso.
Yeah, like every fighter. What would be your post-workout?
I don't know, whatever.
A second.
I guess
Red Bull.
if I'm in the another espresso, and then maybe I don't know, an acai bowl. That used to be my thing.
Oh, that's great.
Every day after training, I go eat one all the time. So yeah, that'd probably be my post-workout.
Where would be your favorite gym you like to train?
My favorite. I mean, I guess obviously Killcliff Fight Club would probably be my favorite gym to train. I always wish I could have went to Kronk Gym in Detroit and trained there before it closed, but I never got a chance. Like that was always like we'd hear stories about, you know, the Milwaukee area. If you got good, you get to go to Detroit and train and spar at Kronk, but never got to go. I got a bag from there, but that's about it. You know.
Where would be your favorite place you like to travel in the world?
Oh, my favorite place. I haven't been to Japan yet, so I want to go check out Japan. As far as I love going to Europe, like anywhere in Europe, Italy, Portugal, Germany. Like, it's just something. I love it over there. I love Europe. I love that. You know, you stop and drink espresso. Sometimes you take a nap in the middle of the day. You know, it's a great lifestyle. You know.
Yeah. All right, Jason. So that's it for the interview. I want to thank you.
Oh
a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. Thank you. This is
Much
fun.
appreciate.
Yeah.
And look forward to keep training with you. And that led me to the secret I always like to say. It's work ethic. Work ethic, it's the key to success. Boom.
All right, guys, if you did like that video, please subscribe, like, comment, and also you could share.